Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get $5. New customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to join today.
All right, a lot to get to on today's show. Obviously, it's funny because we were talking about earlier how the Cavs it seemed like were playing every day or every other day.
Right.
And so it always felt like there was something new to talk about with the Cavaliers. And now they've only played one game in the last 5 days.
I know, and it stinks.
And they still don't play tonight. They'll play tomorrow. So we'll get into plenty of that. Also, Aditi's going to join us at 11:30. Mary Kay Cabot's going to join us at noon. And it is Michigan week.
We do not say that word.
Oh, stop.
We don't speak of that word.
Are you someone that will put that red X over every M that you tweet?
Yes, but
You
I
really
don't,
are?
I'm not going to tweet. So
All right, fair enough. Well, you tweet sometimes. What are you talking about?
every now and again, when I
You
got
just
some,
tweeted
when
yesterday.
I got some stuff on my mind, I do. But to me, it's just I'm just retweeting stuff that I'm on and stuff like that.
You said something on Twitter in the last. I remember seeing a tweet of yours pop up recently in the last day or two. So
Or what did I say?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'll just
But
be
you
saying,
were there.
I just be saying stuff.
But
I was talking about Cross.
oh yeah, don't tell me about that. I haven't started it
No,
yet.
it's good.
You like it?
I
It's good.
got like 3 episodes to go, and I'm locked in.
All right, you're locked in.
But we talking about the Cavs.
Yeah, I got. I can go on about that. I haven't started yet. But anyway, let's get into it. Yesterday, well, not yesterday. On Sunday, during the pregame show, Kenny Atkinson. Who did he say this to? By the way, was this?
This tidbit of information came from NBA insider Earl the Pearl, because Earl's been covering the Cavs games with Mike now.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Good.
NBA insider Earl.
So
Pearl,
Earl,
I like it.
according to as you go, NBA insider Earl the Pearl, Kenny Atkinson said in pregame that his install of the offense that he eventually wants to run once it's all said and done is only 65% complete. So if they're playing this well now, what 16? What are they 17-1? 17-1.
Yeah, 17-1. No, 16-1.
No, they're 17-1.
All
Right.
right.
17.
17-1.
Okay.
If they're playing this well with only 65% of the offense in, should we anticipate even a bigger jump when they get the rest of this 35% in? What do you think?
I would say yes, because at some point, teams are going to figure out what the Cavs are doing. I mean, the Celtics did a really good job of just running the Cavs off the three-point line. So you got to be.
Does anybody else have the talent to stop the Cavs from doing it besides Boston?
Have the talent to do that? I was thinking the Warriors, no. Lakers, no. Milwaukee, no. Sixers,
Milwaukee's
no.
done. They got Jimmy Haslam.
The Knicks should be able to do it. You don't think the Knicks?
I don't know.
I know we beat them.
Let's see. I mean, they
got a jail. Once they jail, I think that'll
I'll be interested to see them play the Knicks again later in the season.
Who else in the East?
Nobody. I mean, Orlando's got the third best record.
Yeah, but they doing it without Paulo right now.
But they're playing well without him.
They
won 8 of 9.
I would say yes. I mean, just go high on everything. Like, if they try to screen you, just go high on the screen and give up the 2. And hopefully you got to have a rim protector down there.
Right.
The
Knicks do.
It's kind of what they did. Like, they just set the Cavs off the 3, made them not take threes and go do layups, and they got to force them to try to make it in contact. And if you miss, that's a great defensive possession.
Gee, you buying what Kenny Atkinson's selling, that there's still more levels to this offense?
Of course. There's always more levels to it, because at one point in time, people are going to stop your first options. Your first option is not going to be always ready to go. So, when you look at what they're about to do, they need to have back screens. They need to have some other go-to moves that really can set them up to get them to a point where if you want to run us off the line or you want to take our first or second option away, we have other things that we can go to. And I think it's going to be important. I still want to see Evan Mobley. For me, I want to see him create more at the elbows. I want to see him get the ball and be a facilitator a little bit more, because that will set Darius Garland up to get the ball and the ball around different places where he can score. And the thing about Darius Garland that is most difficult is because he is a slight frame guard, right? And I'll tell you the difference between Kyrie Irving and Darius Garland. The reason I'm not saying this to compare the two, but some people will argue, well, Kyrie Irving can get this off. Guard, it's not necessarily guard. Smaller guards can't get it off. The difference between Kyrie Irving and Darius Garland is around the basket, Kyrie can finish with the best.
One of the best small
Kyrie
guards
is
ever.
the best under 6'5" finisher in the game of basketball.
I would put him even with
one of the best of all time. I
Yeah,
think.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Under 6'5", he's the best finisher I've ever seen.
Even if his layups, his layups is almost as high percentage as dunks. So
you know why he learned how to do that, right? Because he
What?
said he played with a backboard that didn't have a full backboard, so he had to learn how to spin the ball to get angles off of the pieces that was on the backboard.
that's some next level.
It is. It's
That's a
crazy.
three-dimensional
That's how he
checkers.
learned.
Where was he
said
doing that? He went to a fancy schmancy private
He
school. in
said
high
that
school.
that's how he really learned how to finish. Is that the backboard that he played on didn't have a full
I know somebody that went to
backboard.
the same high school as him, not at the same time, but very fancy.
It might- maybe-
Now, I don't know before that.
Maybe it was.
but-
Yeah, I was saying maybe it was at the park or something.
You know good and well they don't be having. If you got a basketball court in your driveway, did you have one when you was growing up?
Do I look rich? To
Yeah,
you?
look, see, look. I had two.
Did I have a basketball court in my driveway?
I had two parents that worked, and I still didn't get no basketball court.
So you know what we
All right, I
did?
didn't have one either.
I did the thing where my mom actually got me a hoop, but I didn't have the patio for it, so I had to roll it into the street.
Oh, you had the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Now it wasn't in the cul-de-sac though.
But
It was just literally in the middle of the street, and you got to call motion when the cars is coming. You got to everybody get out
We
the
would
way.
just scream out, car!
Yeah, that was another thing too. That's
We'd be playing, touch football in the street.
So I said, man, I ain't broke
running
up
into cars.
I ain't broke up a game in the street yet. When I'm driving now, it ain't no football,
Man.
no
Never,
curveball, no basketball,
never see
none of
it.
that no
Never.
more.
This is off the beaten path because it's next to Thanksgiving, so bear with us, Anthony. I'm gonna tell you what. If you had back in the day
Turkey bowl football?
that
yeah.
turkey bowl until somebody almost died. Two people almost died. Literally. They was he had spinal cord injuries, bro. But if you get you a Nerf Turbo, do you know what type of 5-star quarterback you are with any Nerf? I mean, you're checking it down, bull. I mean, you get to the top of the drop. Yeah, that Nerf, and don't let you have the Nerf Turbo whistle.
Oh.
That boy get the whistling, boy.
It make you feel like you spinning that thing.
I'm out here spinning it. I'm like, bro, you know what? I was like, man, you know what? I might not even want to put my hand in the ground no more. I need to. They like, no,
play quarterback.
that's the Nerf Turbo.
You would have been like Jared Lorenzen of Ohio.
Listen, they already knew. Yeah. I was really throwing that deep out.
Yeah.
Right by that parked car.
Now, when you guys played in the Turkey Bowl, in your Turkey Bowl, was that tackle football, no
Yes.
equipment?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we did. See, we had two games. We would play the Turkey Bowl, and now I can say this, but you guys can't say this because it's insulting if you're not Jewish. We would have the Jew Bowl. Mm-hmm. That would be on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Wow.
Now you didn't have to be Jewish to play, but it was mostly
But
because we had nothing to do on Christmas Day. All you could do was go to the movies or eat Chinese food. Otherwise, there was nothing else for us to do on Christmas Day. So we created the Jew Bowl.
Makes sense.
So look, man.
But everybody was welcome. We didn't discriminate.
Well, look, back then y'all had plays. Kenny Atkinson got plays.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
he has
Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
The last time I seen the Cavs against the Raptors, it was one particular thing that happened in that game with Evan Mobley that I was like,
I brought up something yesterday. I wonder if it's the same thing. Go ahead.
It was in the third quarter. He gets a rebound, goes up and dunks it.
Yeah.
I said, that's what I just started smiling, man.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
sat there and just started cheesing.
To me, there were two other things that I saw in the first half I mentioned yesterday, but because you brought that up, I'll bring it up again. One, he got a defensive rebound, and it just went. He just took the ball down,
He had like
went
2 blocks
coast to
in that
coast,
game.
and he ended up missing the shot, but I just loved the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And then also in this late second quarter, there was a play where he went up, missed it, grabbed the rebound. Went up, missed it, grabbed the rebound. I think he took like 3 or 4 shots, eventually got fouled. It's not even about the fact, like, you're going to miss shots sometimes, whatever. It's just all three of those plays.
Aggressive.
It's just the aggressiveness that we never saw from him or almost never saw from him on offense. Remember last year against Boston in the playoffs when he played much better, and you're like, where's that been?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's just carried what he did against Boston in the playoffs into this whole season.
Did he have a beard last year, or is this the first year with the beard?
I don't remember.
He had a beard. He had a beard before. He had a beard. He had a little.
Because I was gonna credit it to the beard. I was like, that man that grew a beard, and he on some grown man stuff now.
Do you feel like they need that 65% to beat the Celtics, like that other 35? So the 35 he talked about, they haven't put in. It's only 65% done.
Yeah.
Do they need that other 35 to beat the Celtics?
No.
I think ultimately to beat the Celtics in the playoffs, they're going to have to play their best. Like, I think I think the Cavs are now good enough where they could beat other teams without their A-plus effort. But I don't think they can beat Boston without their A-plus effort.
Well, I mean,
and by the way, if they beat, time will tell. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. If they beat Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm going to pick them to win the finals no matter who they play, including Oklahoma City.
I think. Wait a minute, don't they play Boston again soon?
Sunday.
Okay.
At home, yeah. Sunday and then Denver Wednesday next week.
Joe Mazzulla is really good. Like, he dude know what he doing. So
which is so funny because like the expression on his face always is like, I don't know what's happening.
He
here.
just know what he doing.
Yeah.
So
I give him
to
credit.
answer your question, yes, they're gonna need that other 35. But like I say, when you think about that last Boston game, I mean, DG played his worst game of the season. They lost
the season.
They lost.
Might have been his worst game of his career.
3 points. They lost, and I'm not expecting Boston to hit 20 whatever shots, 3-pointers a game. Like at some point, the Cavs need to do back to them, run them off the 3-point line.
Yeah. Now they're going to have Porzingis back.
Porzingis, yeah,
he's finally back.
Yeah,
but the Cavs were missing some key bench. Like they were.
They missed everybody. They had like 3
they had
players.
no LeVert, no Wade, and no Okoro. We're all out.
Yeah, Okoro, they're gonna need him for the defensive side. I'll be
right. He's a guy. As much as we've been critical of Okoro at times, I certainly have been.
You need his defense.
He's an important guy against Boston.
And if he hitting them shots like he's been doing,
right? They're gonna need him. Against
it's
Boston,
gonna be interesting to see him on Sunday because both. I know Porzingis just got back, but he'll be in the lineup, and those bench players should be back. So it'll be like an interesting matchup.
I don't want it. And we talked about something the other day. I don't want it to get to this, but I'm starting to feel, and I'm resisting myself from going there. Remember when the Cavs would play, and the Cavs before were so good because they would just boat race people. And then if they walked through the first 3 quarters, they would come back in the fourth quarter and win.
Yep.
And the only games that we paid attention to was the Golden State Warriors.
You're talking about the LeBron years.
The LeBron years.
Okay, yes.
So we only paid attention, and we only played Golden State twice a year.
Maybe a couple other teams, but not many.
But it wasn't like...
Yeah, there wasn't that Eastern Conference team that you were worried about.
So for me, it's like I'm watching them play, and it dawned on me as I'm watching Toronto, as I'm watching them play some of the other teams like the Pelicans and throughout that schedule, I'm starting to look at it like, yeah, they can't beat these dudes. Like they can't
talk about that. They can't beat the Cavs.
They can't beat the Cavs.
No,
and
we came into this season thinking the Cavs would be
like
third or fourth in the East,
good like they were last year.
And it's like it's them in Boston and then everybody else.
Right. Well, I mean,
it's
it
Boston,
is right now.
Cavs, everybody else.
It is right now. You know, who knows? I think the Knicks could get in that mix.
No, well,
they had a lot of new players at the beginning of the year.
They messed for some odd reason. Mikal Bridges switched his jumper, which I don't understand.
I don't.
He can't hit trades no more.
Yeah.
It looks now the trade looks terrible.
That is weird.
And I'll tell you what, when they had DiVincenzo going, Hart, I was like,
right. But let's see what they look like at the end of the year.
You gotta give them.
And listen, I'd still rather play any other team than the Knicks in the semifinals. So if the Knicks are going to end up being the 3 seed, I'd rather be the 1 and have to play Orlando or whoever else is going to be the 4 seed and let the Celtics play the Knicks.
Oh, yeah. That's what we want. We got to get to a point where that's where we need to be at. We need to be at where, we're not worried about playing one of those top seeds. Let them deal with the Knicks at the 3rd seed. if they get to it. You know what I mean?
But I've gone from being the most negative guy about regular season basketball to having more fun watching the Cavs. This is the most fun I've had watching regular season basketball, I think, since I was a kid.
Wasn't it a year? What year was it? Maybe it was last year. No, it couldn't have been. Has it ever been a year where all three sports teams did well?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last year? No.
Because the Guardians did make the postseason last year.
That's true.
2021 was that the year?
I would say it was a year that I
went to
felt like
playoffs
they all
again?
made the playoffs.
No, the Browns. The Browns made the playoffs 2020 season. The playoffs started in 2021.
That counted.
Yeah, I can't remember now. But the Cavs didn't make the playoffs, did they? No.
They may have been in the play-in that year. So I don't remember what year they were.
I don't know. There was. Well, you had this past year because, or this year, I guess, because the Browns played in the playoffs in 2024, January of 2024.
Yep.
And the Cavs were in the playoffs in 2024, and the Guardians in the playoffs in 20. But now that's going to end with the Browns obviously not going to make the playoff.
I guess. Yeah.
But they haven't. I think all three teams have only made the playoffs in the same year twice, I want to say. And that's mostly been because of the Browns having to make it. I mean,
the Browns. The
Guardians have been pretty consistently good since the mid '90s, and the Cavs, had 11 years with LeBron, and now they've had a good run here and had some decent teams in the obviously in the '90s.
Could you imagine what the city would have been like in 2016 if we were in the World Series, the finals, and the playoffs for the football?
Yeah,
it would have been crazy.
You had two great teams, and then you had the Browns, who were the worst team in football.
It's usually
It was a great sacrifice. The Browns made a sacrifice that year.
Right. And
the Browns made a business decision.
Man, the Browns have made a lot of sacrifices.
Man, to put a wrap on it, the offense thing, I also think we got to kind of chill a little bit because it's like, at the end of the day, it's about hitting shots.
Yeah.
Like, you could have your offense, you can run all the offense in the world, but you can't. Our basketball coach in high school used to always tell us, you can't end a possession correctly unless you score, and you can't stop a possession on defense unless you get a rebound.
Right.
So it's about, yes, we want that ball movement, and yes, we want people to be, moving around and at their correct spots, but the most important thing is, are you still shooting the ball well? And when you do get those looks, are you knocking them down?
It just can't be the whole team not shooting the same well.
Right.
Yeah. Like even the Celtics game, DG didn't shoot well, but everybody else still was doing their part. And they still had
the flow of the offense wasn't the same.
I get that. Yeah. I get that. What I'm saying, like, it can't be Darius, Donovan,
right? Sure,
and Ty Jerome. Like, if those three just have an off night, like, we ain't got a shot.
And I think, and truthfully to me, and I tell Mike this all the time, I think the Cavs have to play more than good against the Celtics because to me, it's a bad matchup. It's just the guys that they have.
It's too big.
Drew Holiday is physical. They got those guys on Darius Garland. They make it very difficult for him to get to the rim. When Porzingis comes back, they're going to have another guy that's, you think we got one. They got another guy out there that's 7'3". That can shoot threes and space the floor. So
I truly think that when it comes to beating the Celtics, I think you need like that dominant Shaq type center. Because you need to be able to guarantee, like,
it's only one Shaq.
But I'm saying, like, I think that it has to be a big Mobley or Jared Allen type game. Like, on defense, we got to force them to make twos, and then on offense, if they're gonna force us off the line, and we gonna try to five out the thing like they trying to five out us, and you getting 1-on-1 in the paint, that person got to score.
Right.
The key to me, I've always said the key was, you can't let bums kill you. You can, and he's not a bum, but you can't let
the others.
Al
Horford. Al
Horford, man.
This is like,
he played so well that night.
He hit like 4 threes. I was like, man, this man ain't did that in 10 years.
You know he's old.
He is old.
And guess what? That's what he wants. Like, you can't have that I dare you to shoot type thing.
Well, they got a lot of got a lot of open looks.
Open looks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You talk about, well, you got to make your shot, sure, but the more open looks you get, if you work to the open look more often than not, you're going to get a higher percentage shot. You're going to make a higher percentage more often than not.
This is not Al Horford. They can't. Lazy closeouts will kill you. You cannot.
But you know why they're doing that. The reason that they have to do that is because our guards is not big enough for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So when they drive, somebody got to collapse to help. So and they kicking it to if I'm the person that's checking out Horford, I'm like, I'm gonna just let him. I'm gonna live with that shot.
No,
that's what's happening.
Well,
maybe for the first 2 or 3.
No,
that's what happened in the first matchup.
5.
But
no,
it's a. Listen,
that's why you need a core.
As good as the Cavs are, and maybe they're the second best team in the NBA. Maybe they'll be the first by the end of the year, second, third. I mean, whatever. They're top 5. There may come a point where, and I don't know what they have to trade to get anything, but maybe they need one more piece just to beat the Celtics. They may just need one more piece.
Who you willing to part ways with?
I don't want to part ways with anybody. That's the problem. Like, maybe it's a.
How tall is Karis LeVert? Hey, he like 6'6".
I don't know.
Look up.
like
We can't just everybody just be under 6'4". Like, this is ridiculous.
They have to change. They have to.
He's 6'6", Tyvis.
They have to drastically change the approach in which they're going. If Jason Tatum wants to get to the rack and hit twos, okay, because at least that's wear and tear.
Right.
You could get fouled. He got to go convert to free throws. Have you ever put it to you like this? When you playing basketball, you've been playing 1s and 2s, right? Mm-hmm. And you're trying to finish a game in 21 or 33 or whatever you playing.
You got to hit a certain.
You got to hit
33. You got to hit exactly 33. Or are you going back to 28? I think it is.
When you done been dribbling and you trying to get to the rack, people get tired, and you know what the bailout shot is? I'm pulling up. I'm shooting threes. Like, at least I will take the 2 for a 3 any day.
But the problem with that, G, is Darius and Donovan are 6'1". And Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum is 6'7".
So they're gonna have to get 50.
Even if you
50 on layups.
Even if you do this, they just.
But I'm fine with them two. If them two want to get 80 points. Cool.
Oh, but everybody else.
But you can't let Hauser get 17. You let Pritchard get 15. Then Al Horford hit 4 threes.
Al Horford's got his AARP card. For crying out loud.
He's out here hobbling up and down the court. And by the way, make him guard you.
That's what I said.
Make him
whoever
guard you.
He checking, he getting the ball and he going to work.
Going to you. He's supposed to be barbecue chicken down there, bro. You got to go to work.
I'm forcing the switch, and it's on.
It's popping, and you got to make him guard you the whole game. Because now what he doing, all he's sitting help side defense. Yeah, Al Horford, I'm going to sit down here and get me some blocks. Al Horford.
But are they playing? Okay, see, I wasn't really locked into this. Was he in the starting line? I don't think he's in the starting line.
Yeah,
he's starting.
Okay, now that Kristaps is back.
They probably.
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, now that Kristaps is back.
I'm gonna look at it. I think he played last night, didn't he?
Kristaps did, yeah. He 100% played last night. But now that Kristaps is back, like, he ain't in the starting lineup. Can't be.
Everybody got to be.
All right, let's see.
There's no way.
So the Celtics destroyed the Clippers last night, 126-94.
Dang.
And my bad eyes.
My eyes going on.
Yes, Porzingis was starting, and Horford didn't play. Coach's decision. So I don't know.
Who started?
It was Tatum, Porzingis, Holiday, White, Brown. That's probably their starting lineup. I think.
Is that 4 or 5?
That's 5. Tatum, Porzingis, Holiday, White, Brown.
That's got to be the starting 5.
Yeah, that's the 5.
Yeah.
So that means that when
a rough lineup.
So when they play in the Cavs, is Jared Allen in the lineup?
That's a rough. He has to be.
Okay.
So
we'll get back.
So he's checking Kristaps at the 3.
Well, let's leave it there for now, guys.